like my ringtone? You don't want to make it.
Do you remember? Yeah, so we put on 7 spots and we last. Okay. So it's a 5 for the program. Yeah, absolutely. At least I got a hold of a real person.
Yeah.
Alright, did you? Okay.
Hi. Okay. Oh, he's taking our pictures.
Thank you. So please take the program.
And our products.
Were you
Good, because everything makes me, it styes on my eyes.
were you at
I put it in the basket the other day.
Did you like it?
Yeah, it was so sweet when I got out.
I took the longest bath of that and I lay down.
Like make them tired or something.
Right.
Relax them. This one's really nice because it doesn't have any like weird purple. Like, besides the mint, it doesn't have anything too. Yeah. That was awesome. You're like a sexy hippie. Do you normally use the body scrub or?
Not typically. I made one once, I think, with the
Variety. They're like the most used, most versatile, most loved oils. So there's thank you. And it's really great. Like happy one.
you barely read it.
Thank you very much. Yeah, this is a great. Yeah, and actually, if you email the info account that you can get through on. It's long. I want to know. Right now, I do.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
okay.
took a picture.
Okay. I forgot about that. That just happened. Yeah, I'll be there every Thursday.
It's a cool concept of paper. How do you make it stay in the
Did you want to right underneath of Arsenal Lake? 40 right there. So in Lawrenceville? Yeah. Paper, so everything is plant-based from beginning to end. Okay, great. So I also have the compostable paper tubes for the lip balm.
West Africa and India.
Yeah, and what was the herb you put in the bottom?
Lemon balm.
Oh yeah, lemon balm.
I'm not sure, but I think I saw their sign.
Yes, you're absolutely right.
They're lovely.
Yeah. So,
And I use they have something in the summertime that keeps me
Wholesale, you said, or retail? Wholesale. Wholesale. Okay. Now we want one set.
I'm very interested in getting involved in more of an application.
Fine. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome tonight to our event, Face It, Healthy Beauty. I'm Amanda Gwynn, and I'm the chair of the Women for Healthy Environment. Our organization's mission really has been about educating and empowering women and those that they love act as ambassadors about the environment and the toxin risks that are out there. We all know that beauty products have a lot of different additives, and the ones that are being offered tonight are ones that we really feel are truly environmentally sound. So we hope that you'll have an opportunity to spend time finding lovely new products and using them yourself. We have been looking at trying to change the environment and change the way we live and the way we think. And so we've been actively promoting healthy homes, learning healthy places to learn, our schools for our children, healthy workplaces where we are every day for many, many hours, and then healthy communities. A very broad, overreaching goal and mission, but we think it's an important one. We do a lot of this through educational programming and advocacy initiatives, not just through our own region, but through the state and the federal government. Since 2010, we have engaged more than 10,000 individuals about what we're doing, and we've done hundreds and hundreds of programs in schools, in workplaces, here as well. So we're happy tonight to have you. I'd also like to thank our sponsors, UPMC Health Plan, Giant Eagle, Pittsburgh Magazine, and Comcast. And we welcome our wonderful vendors and ask you to really be supportive. And before the program starts, because I'm guilty of this, if you wouldn't mind turning off your cell phones, and I think we'll all have a good evening. But I also now would like to introduce Gina Furdenberg, who is from UPMC Health Plan, and she will start the program. Thank you.
I'm actually also on the lead board as well, so very happy to be here and thank you for all coming. And I'm here to introduce Jennifer. And many of you know Jennifer Antkowiak from being on KDKA. I'm sure you watch her all the time. But maybe you've seen her out at the booth with her Jennifer Cares Essentials. She's a wife, mother of 5, and award-winning TV news anchor, as we said, author and entrepreneur. She's the founder of Jennifer Cares Essentials, which teaches people how to work with the power of amazing gifts from nature, essential oils, to create a happier, healthier life for yourself and those around you. For more than 20 years, TV viewers have trusted Jennifer and bonded with her. I think we all feel like we know her. And say they admire her unique brand of work, wit, and wisdom. Those qualities shine through in her book, Take Care Tips. Jennifer is a speaker and writes for websites, newspapers, magazines, and is a regular guest on radio and television shows. She donates her time to a variety of charitable organizations, including us tonight, and helps with fundraisers, motivational talks, and more. Please welcome Jennifer.
Thanks, everybody. It's nice to be with you. It's a good feeling, isn't it? It's a good feeling to be with like-minded people, people who are thinking about the best and the safest and the healthiest for themselves and their families, but also for the planet. And so it feels good for me to be in your presence tonight and get this kind of good energy from all of you. Yeah, many of you may know that I do the news in the morning. You may not know that I'm kind of a closet essential oil user. So it's out. It's out now. There it is. I love them. I've used them for myself and for my family for more than 10 years. And because I've been a caregiver, a family caregiver, I learned very quickly about problems with medications and with traditional pharmaceuticals. And the medicine management and the stress management that is needed to deal with all of that. So I got to the point really quickly when I was a family caregiver for my in-laws that I did not want to see another bottle of pills in my house. Couldn't stand it. And I was looking for healthier alternatives. And when I first walked by a booth of essential oils and people were diffusing, I thought, that smells nice, and I'm open-minded to things, and I thought, if it smells good and it makes people feel good, that's great. And I didn't take it any farther than that. But the more that I really dug and did research into what are these essential oils and why should we care and how can we use them, I was really amazed with what I saw and what I read and what then I have experienced in my own life with them. So to support you and your family's health and empower you to be a healer in your own home is the mission of the company that I have partnered with, doTERRA, to provide those kinds of tools for people. And when we're talking about natural beauty this evening, I really believe that a lot of that comes from within. And if we're not feeling good from the inside out and we're not functioning to our best performance levels from the inside out, it's hard to feel good, it's hard to look good, it's hard to function at our top capacity. You put that though with the whole other component that we're all very busy people. So caring about something and being able to do something about it are two very different things, right? And there can be a gap in things that you know that you want to do, but that you can't find the time or you aren't able to do. The other thing that I really love about working with essential oils is the speed. I don't have time to wait around to see if that pill is going to work sometimes. You don't have to with essential oils. They're quick, they're effective, they're natural, they're dependable, they're pure, and they're potent. So I do invite you to come over after the talk here this evening and smell some things. Just come and smell some things and kind of keep an open mind and learn a little bit about how you might be able to work them into your life. I'd be very happy to help get you started on that kind of a journey. And I don't leave you hanging. I have a big support group online and in person, so there's a lot of education that comes with it too. So I hope to see you over at our table. But I'm excited to be in here this evening too and to introduce you to our fantastic guests and speakers tonight. And I'd like to start first with introducing Paige Padgett, green beauty expert and author of the Green Beauty Rules. Paige is a leading authority on green beauty. She's never been afraid to go against the grain. As an irreverent, free spirit, she follows her instincts and her heart. At the mere age of 12, get this, she announced to her family that she was no longer eating red meat. No, just not. No, not doing it anymore. And that's one thing, but when you know the full story there, ironically, her half Native American grandfather was a cattle rancher. She came to dinner and said, no thank you, no thank you. So it was no surprise then when beauty experts said she couldn't provide safe and eco-friendly makeup artistry and still create beautiful faces. She set out to prove them wrong, and she did. Now considered a leading authority on green beauty, Paige is the green beauty expert for Dasani Eco Community Facebook page, dailyglow.com, Jillian Michaels' wellness team, and founded PaigePadgett.com, a green beauty website. In addition, she is often sought out by the press and has been featured in Shape, Elle, Genlux, BeautyBlitz.com, many others, including the Los Angeles Times, Vegetarian Times, Natural Health, and Whole Life Times magazine as well. So please join me in welcoming Paige Padgett.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here. When I was asked to speak, I was thrilled. It is, as she said, it's exciting to be here with like-minded people, and I'm just honored to be here to speak to you tonight. What I want to basically speak to you tonight about is your beauty routine. I am a makeup artist. I work in Hollywood. That's my passion, but I'm also very passionate about green beauty. So, can I hold it? why you should consider your beauty routine a diet. And maybe you want to talk about how it is. Has anyone heard of, I know there are people I know there are people who have heard of Ken Cook. How many has heard his speech, 10 Americans? Just one. That's good, because I'm going to recap it. So, 10 Americans. My aha moment was when I heard Ken give this talk. He was in town in Los Angeles for an event, and I was searching for something to take my career to the next level, to bring my passion for the environment into my work, and I didn't really know how to do that. I thought being environmentally kind was just using mineral makeup. So I went to see Ken's talk. 10 Americans, the Red Cross did a random sampling of 10 Americans across the United States. These 10 Americans had nothing in common, they weren't related. Okay, thank you. What they found was, upon the Red Cross took a sample of their blood and sent it out to an independent lab. What they found was 287 chemicals on average in everyone's blood. Of these 287 chemicals, 28 of them were waste products, 47 consumer product ingredients, 212 industrial chemicals and pesticides, some that had been banned for 30 years already, and 168 personal care products. That's a huge amount. Personal care products is a really big category. So,
Thank you so much.
We can go ahead and get started. 134 of these chemicals are associated with cancer, 151 birth defects, 154 hormone disruption, 186 infertility, 130 immune disruptors, and 158 are neurotoxins. None of these Americans had ever worked in a field, a factory. They'd never cleaned a home or used any personal care products. So how could this be? Well, they were fetuses. So all of us are being born, our children, with chemicals in the body already, 287 on average. A large part of them, again, is consumer products, personal care products. So this is why I ask you to consider your beauty routine a diet. Your cosmetics are no different than food you put in your bodies. They hit your bloodstream. They hit your bloodstream quicker than anything you eat. It doesn't go through your digestive system, your liver, your kidneys. It's the reason why the patch works so well. Has anyone ever used the patch for anything? I used it once for birth control. It works extremely well. Patch works better than any pill, and it's the same with your beauty routine. It's definitely, it should be considered a diet. In the World Health Organization considers your skin a major route of entry. It is acknowledged by science. According to the Environmental Working Group, women use 12 personal care products on a daily basis, exposing them to 160 chemicals. Men use about half, teenagers use about 16 of these products. When I seek out products, I look for, in the beginning, I looked for mineral products. And as I've grown and my product selection has evolved, I now use something, what I call the 3 eco attitudes. And the first eco attitude is Green Beauty Beginner. The second is the Green Beauty Pro and the Green Beauty Master. The beginner really is for someone who's just starting out, who doesn't really know a lot and might find it intimidating, or is just comfortable with having some of the major offenders, maybe parabens or fragrance taken out. And I think that's totally acceptable for me. The Green Beauty Pro is, you know, all of the major offenders are taken out. There's no petrochemicals. And the Master is, they're organic and few ingredients. It's really the purest. And some people want to always fall in that category. I fluctuate between these three eco attitudes at any given time. When you're, I always say, in an airport in India or in a different country, even here in the United States, you're not always going to find chemically safe products. So there are cases where I would be interested or acceptable for me to use something that's just taking out parabens. I try to hit the middle. So people say, you know, all the time, how clean are your products? And for the most part, I fall in the Green Beauty Pro category. But occasionally I'm a Master as well. But for me, it's not necessary. So over the years, you know, it's really evolved to suit my life. I love products. I need, as a makeup artist, I need products with high pigmentation. Sometimes I need fluorescent colors. Can't find that in green products. Certain colors are really hard to find and hard to make. So I also use an 80-20 rule. Just like a diet, if you keep it 80% clean, you can have that Sunday, that 20% to be whatever you want. I was talking earlier to someone about chemically straightening their hair, and she said, my daughter chemically straightens her hair, and it really concerns me, and I thought a lot about doing this myself, and I think it's fine. You know, feeling good is important, so you don't want to give up everything. This is not about excluding things, it's about being inclusive. And if you are going to, say, straighten your hair or use a chemical on a regular basis, just know that 80% of your products are clean. So my advice to her was, don't have her stop straightening her hair. It's important to feel good, and feeling good is, you know, goes hand in hand with looking good. Gives you confidence, but to get her beauty routine as clean as possible in other areas. So it's a compensation thing for me. I find that the 80-20% rule really works. Let's move on to the next slide. What you need to know is really what you will and won't allow for. Meaning, if, for example, I have a sensitivity to sulfates, I probably would never use them. But if I don't, I may choose to use them at times. It's not the end-all, be-all that everything has to always be the cleanest. Yes, I do like to have as clean as products as I can get, but it's really more important to know what you're allowing for, why. There are fragrance components that I don't mind having in products. It will rank them a little higher. I heavily use the Environmental Working Group's standard database. It will rank them a little higher, but I'm comfortable they are natural, but I like my products to smell good. So sometimes I will allow for that. Other people don't, and that's fine too. You just need to know what is allowable for you, and just really just knowing what you're getting, and that way you can balance your life. And you know, whatever you do to yourself, you do to the environment, and it is a closed circuit. So it's really just about knowing your products and knowing what you will and won't allow in your beauty routine. So my call to action for you, some of the things that I do to promote green products is I'm in a unique situation where I get to talk about them in the press, and I wrote a book, but I'm always on social media. I share them with my friends, I gift them, I tell my family about them. So that's what you can do if you want to be an advocate and you want to share your knowledge. That's what I'm asking for you, is to purchase some chemically safe products when you can, blog about it, do social media if you're active on that. Again, just refer them as I do, talk about them, give them, and tell people about Women for a Healthy Environment. It's an awesome organization. I'm honored to be here working with them. And really, it's word of mouth. The more you can talk to people about this, the faster it will grow. And one day we won't need to be talking about it. It'll just be regulated. So any questions? Thank you.
You can let that settle and take that in, and we can have some time for a few questions at the end too. So take a little bit and let that simmer and save your questions until the end for all of our speakers. Thank you so much. And next I'm happy to introduce Rob Robillard. He joins us this evening too. He is the CEO of Sensible Organics. He is a consumer product and marketing expert with 15 years of strategic and operational experience. Rob assumed the position of Chief Executive Officer of Sensible Organics, Inc. in August 2012, with nearly 15 years of experience in the beauty industry. As an entrepreneur, Rob founded Living Proof, which is a beauty company dedicated to finding the solutions to the world's toughest beauty challenges through science. Prior to joining Living Proof, Rob was the worldwide general manager of Kiehl's since 1851 and senior vice president of marketing for L'Oreal Paris. Rob was also responsible for managing L'Oreal's roster of talent. While he was there, many stars, including Beyonce, Scarlett Johansson, Eva Longoria, Penelope Cruz, Diane Keaton. His work at L'Oreal.
Hello, everybody. Such a pleasure to be here. Stick my neck. And also, the token man, I guess, is also why I'm here, to prove that men also believe in giving women a healthy environment and a beautiful life. So I'm sort of always, having worked in the beauty industry for 20 years, I'm always proud to be the token man. Thanks so much for having me. And it's such a pleasure, as all the speakers have said, just standing in a room full, for me personally, with a bunch of incredible entrepreneurs who I hope have all made it in here, who are all out here fighting the good fight like I am, to build a beautiful and incredibly safe beauty world is kind of nice. And then to be surrounded, secondly, by all these great people who are supporting, Women for a Healthy Environment to me is just been quite great. What I thought I would do is kind of share my business story, which now that I know how many entrepreneurs here, hopefully will be relevant. And for all of you who are consumers, you can kind of also follow along with how you might help us all sort of achieve our missions. Just a quick background on my career. I started it as a McKinsey strategic consultant in a big suit in New York, and pretty quickly fell in love with consumer products. After deciding not to go to grad school for a couple of years, I decided to join Ben & Jerry's up in Vermont. Not a bad job. I got to eat ice cream every Friday, 8 flavors that came out of the R&D lab, and I essentially got very fat. Loved that job, very, very hard job. But it really was in 1998 that I found my personal calling. I was hired by L'Oreal in color cosmetics as the marketing manager on nail polish. And it was when I was at L'Oreal that I heard this phrase. And you'd sit in meetings with beauty executives, marketers, and people would say, "For God's sake, we're just selling lipstick." And I forgot about that phrase until very recently when a dear colleague of mine reminded me of it, and how pervasive it is with marketing executives and beauty marketers all around the country. And it really kept reminding me how something very bad about the beauty industry, right? A phrase like, "We're just selling lipsticks." To me, it shows an incredible lack of responsibility, because after all, some of the stats you just shared, it's not just about selling lipsticks. Second, it says the marketing executives and all around the country really only care about what's on the outside and not what's on the inside. Pretty selfless. It also demonstrates that marketing people in this industry feel that all that really matters is if we make women look pretty. So I really have come to hate the phrase. particularly given my mission today. After spending 10 years traveling up the ranks of L'Oreal, as you heard in my introduction, I had no real awareness of the safety or the impact of the products that I was marketing and launching had on women's lives. Here I was, at the age of 33, I was the head of the largest brand in the country, the largest brand, beauty brand in the entire country, and I had no awareness of the ingredients that we were using, no awareness of the safety profile, absolutely nothing. There was an entire department at L'Oreal that took care of that for me. They were making sure we were doing all the right things. So I could frankly work on selling more lipsticks. My first entrepreneurial venture was in 2007. I left L'Oreal, and it really couldn't have been more different than where I am today. You heard MIT science, very safe science, but still science, and by no means really represented how I feel. And then I had a pivotal moment, I think like many people in this room. There was Jen. Jen really helped me transform my own personal mission. She worked for me at L'Oreal and was truly an extraordinary woman. When she was diagnosed with cancer, initially she fought it and won. We were all so happy. During that particular time, she sat me down and educated me about what her doctors were telling her to avoid. Her doctors: synthetic fragrances, pigments, parabens, leads, phthalates. I mean, the list sort of went on, and here I sat in a job where these things were pervasive in all the products I was selling. Her battle, unfortunately, ended in 2011. But it was documented by her beautiful husband, talented, committed, loving Angelo. And it was really at this time, if you ever have a chance to Google Angelo and a battle we didn't choose to take on. It's a beautiful retrospective of Jen's life. It was really at that time that I exited my first startup and really committed myself to finding a more noble cause and take my talents elsewhere. I created several retail concepts, food concepts, everything around local and organic. And frankly, at the time, I had decided I was leaving beauty. I couldn't do it anymore. I didn't think there was any way that I could align my personal beliefs with what I loved, which was beauty products. And at the time, I just felt the industry was really just full of a bunch of stuff, whatever you want to say. And then I had a chance meeting with an old colleague. He told me about a couple that he met several years prior that started an organic contract manufacturing business in Beaver Falls, Pennsylvania. Who would have thought? Beaver Falls, Pennsylvania, the home of organic beauty. They created that business over 15 years and had got themselves a small, profitable business with 400 natural and organic formulas sitting on the shelf. They wanted to retire, and they were really looking for somebody to take the helm and run it. Lynn and Tom Betts were the founders and were truly pioneers, well ahead of their time. The company was the first in the entire world to gain approval by Congress to produce skincare products that carry the USDA organic seal in 2003. And that's when nobody was talking about organic beauty. That was 12 years ago. Lynn Betts, the company's founder, stood before Congress eating her formulations to prove to them that they were food grade and therefore should be allowed to carry the USDA seal. The government's constant pushback to this simple request, let me use the seal, I meet the food standard, was, we don't regulate cosmetics. Cosmetics, after all, is a self-regulated industry that has worked very, very well at this for the last, since the last major piece of legislation was passed, as I just saw in your brochure, in 1938. Great. Well, we're all up to date on our regulation. She persisted, and in the end, she won approval to get that USDA seal. I met them in 2012 and was truly blown away by this fantastic and very unassuming couple, but I'm a total skeptic. With memories of Jen, of course, I said I gotta give it a shot. So I asked them for a few dozen formulas to try, see what I thought. My career, I've tried thousands of formulas. I've launched thousands of formulas, so they were gonna have to be good. And they really were. Certified organic skincare was really good. My eyes were kind of open. So the skeptic, of course, came at me again. Are they really organic? We all walk the aisles of many, many retailers, except for Whole Foods. Thank you, Whole Foods. Where something says organic and you flip it over and you read things that you never thought would be possible. So once again, Lynn and Tom had told me and educated me on the fact what the USDA seal meant, what NSF organic certifications meant, and I was really blown away. So I gathered a group of investors over about 6 months. We bought the company, and I only found investors who believed in our social mission and believed that they were going to give us the time and the capital to really build this business up. We bought the company in 2011 under the singular mission of making organic beauty mainstream. A lot of these beautiful vendors out here are working, and we wanted to sort of be one of those people who could help support them. To achieve the mission, our plan was to really maintain our contract manufacturing business and also launch a series of brands that would launch different channels of distribution and opportunities that I could dream up. I have a lot of dreams. So on the private label side, I dusted off my black book, called everybody I knew that wanted to launch natural and organic. If I didn't know somebody at the company, I knew somebody who knew somebody, and before I knew it, we had several major new clients, and today we launch one major nationally distributed client a year. We turn away 5 to 10 new clients every month. We try to keep ourselves small, we try to keep ourselves reasonable, but we've now built a very highly profitable private label business. But our goal was big brands. So in 2012, we launched our first. Nourish Organic was actually a brand that Lynn and Tom had launched in 2013 with suboptimal packaging, formulations, etc. But the name was perfect, Nourish, food for healthy skin. We had bought something pretty extraordinary. So a little rebranding, some reformulation, and Nourish Organic was born as you see it here. And what makes Nourish Organic so spectacular is, number one, every one of the SKUs you see before you carries the USDA organic seal. So for the consumer, for you, for the press, for the retailers, it's fully understandable. It's something you see in your beauty aisle, or your grocery aisle, and you now can see it in the beauty aisle. And we are committed to having that seal on every single SKU. Second is all those products go through third-party clinicals. We want to make sure they work. We want deodorants that are deodorizing. We want face care products that take care of your face. We designed beautiful packaging that would stand off in the shelves and really capture women's imagination, fragrances that delight, and most importantly, because we do our own manufacturing, affordably priced. All of our face care is under $25, all our body care is under $10. So anyone can really afford USDA organic skincare. The brand was picked up nationally at Whole Foods, which for those that don't know, that very rarely happens for a small company. We were lucky. And since then, it's truly exploded. We started with body care. We launched oils, face care, deodorants. We expanded across the country faster than we ever thought imaginable. We recently partnered with GNC, a local company, to do new personal care sets in 1,000 of their stores. Because of its success, we're now in all 5,000 GNCs around the country in partnership. We got picked up by strong regional venture grocers like my friends at Giant Eagle, H-E-B, Wegmans, Rayleigh's, and today the brand is sold in over 15,000 stores around the country and is growing at plus 50% in our existing doors every year. In fact, we are now a top 20 national brand in 3 short years, and we'll hit a top 10 in 2016. So the lesson here is that brilliant? No, that's not the lesson. The lesson to me is that this is true evidence that women are ready for organic skincare. Oops, did I do something to make it happen? They're really ready, right? That many stores, that kind of volume, they're really ready. So, as a company, we set our eyes even further. The natural market is an amazing place to start, of course, but to achieve our mission of making organic beauty mainstream, we also needed mainstream retail. So, in 2014, I was approached by CVS, who at the time was truly transforming themselves from CVS Pharmacy, a place where you buy drugs, to CVS Health. Their removal of tobacco from their stores, of billions of dollars of lost sales, is something we should all respect and something we should all support them on by using them as our local drugstore. It was a pretty great move. They wanted to talk about how they could move that idea into their beauty aisles and gain a healthier option. We talked about Nourish, but to me, a USDA organic choice for the first time conventional shopper was a big leap. So, to achieve our mission, but if we were going to achieve our mission, CVS shoppers had to love the formulas. They had to use an organic product for the first time, and I felt that NSF organic certification, which is 100% naturally derived, 70 to 95% organic, was really a better fit. And so Promise Organic was born. In less than 6 months, we designed the line, formulated, packaged. We did quantitative research to show the purchase interest of this line was 30% higher than Burt's Bees. Pretty proud of that. The plant moved into full speed production in June of this year. We worked around the clock to make the launch happen. In September of this year, we launched 14 products in 1,400 of their top stores and will move into 4,000 stores by the end of 2016. We've just found out that in the last 4 weeks, we are now the #1 natural brand in all of CVS in the stores where we're sold, so it's pretty amazing. Lesson again, not that I'm brilliant, is that women are ready for organic skincare. Our company has nearly doubled since the acquisition. And our branded business has grown nearly 8-fold where we were in our launch year of 2012. In fact, today the demand for our products at our factory actually exceeds our ability to produce, which is a good and a bad problem to have. Our success, to me, truly says that it's time for companies to just stop selling lipsticks. What I think companies should really strive towards doing is really selling health, selling wellness, caring more than about what's on the outside, but really what's on the inside and how our products can affect that. And the statistics are so scary, so scary. The brands that we have are really connecting with consumers on a much deeper level, and we hope and we know that that will bring us long-term success. Our position as the only USDA certified organic skincare line in the marketplace goes beyond really just the direct impact on women's health, particularly given this organization. Our sourcing strategy, agricultural materials sourced organically, helps the environment worldwide. We're helping to support and build new businesses of organic farms that didn't exist before, and that will only serve to support the planet overall. In the coming years, we're also moving beyond just organic. We're finding organic and fair trade certified sources for all of our materials, ensuring that we're building strong communities around the world where employees get fair treatment, fair wages, and access to health care, amongst other great critical things. That commitment around the world builds on a commitment that we have to our employees in our factory, who all earn a livable wage of $10.10, have access to health care, are stock owners in our company, and get matching 401k. I believe the success of our company is really only the beginning. You see these others here. We're all here because we believe we're at an inflection point. It's a magical time where I think organic skincare will truly take off and explode. A few reasons why. I think we're at the moment of scale. We're starting to see scale. There is enough business now where suppliers can invest in technology, where raw materials become cheaper at cost so that everyone can afford them, where new sources of supply are opening up because people can make money, and where investment in sales and marketing can make sense. Second reason I think where there is organic food adoption, I don't know if you know this, is nearly 100% of American households today buy something USDA organic, which is a remarkable change from 5-10 years ago. We believe that will translate pretty quickly into other categories, and of course we believe beauty is one that it must. Third reason, younger consumers grew up. I mean, there's some great younger consumers here today, making careful choices. These are people whose mom said, you will not drink that milk, right? You've got to drink this milk because of concern. They know to look around, they know to flip over the label, they know what they have to use. And finally, social media is changing the world. The information, transparency, communication is better than it's ever been. So, thank you so much. I mean, it's just a pleasure to kind of share our story and share our success, particularly given, I think, the different groups here. So, for the entrepreneurs in the room, I hope you take a few lessons away and my story can help inspire you to be all successful and happy to always be helped. So into the consumers in the audience, I think you've heard this a few times, please support us. We need your help, we need your dollars. The more we succeed, the more likely there are to be healthy choices for everybody out there. And for the young people in the audience, we've done a great deal of damage to the world over the last 100 years, and I just hope you all translate your passions for whatever it might be into beautiful ideas that will help our environment. So thank you all too.
Gee, I don't know, but after listening to him, I think he's brilliant. And I think that women are ready for organic skincare. Yeah. What about you? Yeah. And let's hear the Beaver Falls. Get into that story, huh? Fantastic. Thank you so much, Rob. Last but not least, I'm thrilled to introduce Heather Manning, she's the whole body buyer at Whole Foods Market. Born and raised in rural Pennsylvania, Heather has long been a social justice advocate working within a Black eco-feminist framework. Her work and passions are tied into her experience as a Black woman seeking to live a healthier life.
Heather is currently the body care buyer at Whole Foods Market, where she works to educate consumers on the ethics of products they choose for their hair and body. Thank you so much, and welcome.
Thank you. I want to first thank the first two speakers. You guys did an amazing job. Thank you so much. And thanks for inviting me, guys. So without overlapping too much, a lot was already said, so I'm just going to cut to the chase about what I do at Whole Foods Market. Can I pull this on? Oh, I can't do that. Okay. Hi everyone. So I don't have a PowerPoint presentation. I'm just going to talk about my experience at Whole Foods and what goes on there, how we select products, and what you can look for. One of the things that I like that was pointed out earlier is that there is no regulation on the body care products that we sell in the US, which means that they can call it natural, it doesn't mean anything. If nothing is regulating that standard, it gives you no validity upon what that means. So go ahead, buy natural. It doesn't mean that you're getting an organic product. It doesn't mean that you're getting a clean product. What I often tell folks after I make that statement is start educating yourself and making your own products. It is really, really, really simple to make a face wash. It's really simple to make a deodorant. There are tons of recipes. I actually am really used to DIY demonstrations, so I brought some products. If you guys want to stop by, I'm in the back. I have some shea butter, I have some witch hazel, really simple key ingredients that will help you make, what's that vibrating? Really simple ingredients that will help you learn how to make your own products. So Whole Foods Market has been around for a while. I believe they've been around for about 25 years now. About 10 years ago, they started researching ways to give consumers a leg up on finding products that were free of about 400 different ingredients that were identified as being harmful for your body. It's a lot of ingredients, 400. So what they did is they created a line called Premium Body Care. And so when you go into Whole Foods, you'll see me or my coworkers in the aisles, and a lot of times folks are shy. It is an overwhelming place if you've never been there. Everything is shiny, there's tons of products. So what we've done to make it easier for you is that you can look on those body care products and you'll see Premium Body Care. It's a little circle, it's in the bottom left-hand corner of most of those products. And so Premium Body Care is going to mean that that product is free of those 400 different ingredients that we deem to be unsafe. It's been studied and tested for 3 additional years to make sure that it doesn't have those ingredients and that it is gentle. And so there's a few things that automatically come in every body care product that you get. So surfactants. Surfactants are essentially what makes your product bubble, what makes it, it's basically a degreaser. And so every body care product is going to have a surfactant. What we do with Premium Body Care is we make sure that it's a gentle surfactant that's not going to cause irritation, that's not going to cause allergies. Another key ingredient in all body care products is fragrance. And so with the Premium Body Care products, you're going to find that we only use essential oils. And so you're not going to have the really harsh synthetic scents that you can get with regular body care products. There is another note card that apparently fell back there, but with the Premium Body Care, you're getting a really, really gentle guarantee right from the bat. You don't have to worry about whether or not it's going to cause irritation. You can feel safe buying that. And, you know, again, I always remind customers when they come in, if you're not sure about something, that's what we're there for. Please ask any of the coworkers that are working, or myself. I'm usually there in the morning. Come in, and we can take you through the products that are going to work for your skin. Again, if you have a lot of allergies, I'm going to say it over and over again. Go to a very basic formula. Just go to shea butter for moisturizing. Use an oil for moisturizing your face. Stay away from products that have more than 5 ingredients. If you're having a lot of allergies, if you feel like you have irritation, try to minimize your beauty routine as much as possible. I host classes at Whole Foods. If anybody wants to come by, there will be a class next month in which I'll be educating you on the top or essential winter beauty products. It's going to be a fun class. It's going to be on the floor. It's going to be really quick. I'll take you through products that are easy to either make or easy to find in my department, and they're great for the winter. People a lot of times will come in with like crazy rashes, and what I had fun doing is showing them these products that are really gentle and safe, and you don't have to worry about your skin being reacting rather to some nasty, harsh chemical. Okay, are there any questions? So I'm gonna wrap this up. Go ahead, ladies.
Which Whole Foods are you?
I'm at the East Liberty Whole Foods in Shady Side. So yeah, come by. I'm there usually in the morning from 8 to 2 o'clock. If I'm not there, I'm actually going to recommend you to my coworker Allison, who's fantastic. Both of us are buyers in the department. She buys all the supplements. I buy body care. So either one of us, I'd say, would be a good option. Are there any other questions?
Are you going to do anything at Wexford yet?
Oh, that's a good question. I know that Tavis is actually the team leader at Wexford, and I don't know what their direction is with their classes and education, but I would encourage you to maybe petition for that, because it is fun. Customers always have a good time. Okay? All right, guys. Thank you again. If there are no other questions, have a good evening.
Not really found. So you have to go to like Carmine's, and they're still not as bright, so it's hard to get that sort of, yeah, there's a brightness about it. It's not quite fluorescent, but they're also starting to use petals, like flower petals and things like that. So it's getting better, a lot better in fact, and I can recommend brands if you meet at the table and help you with that. But it is getting better with chemistry, with flowers, and
That's good to know, thank you.
Is there somebody over here to the question? Yeah?
Question for the gentleman.
Right.
I'm sorry. When you started at CVS, specifically CVS, because I think when you go to a Whole Foods, you're expecting healthy stuff. But in a CVS, what led to your success there? Because people, it was kind of new.
Yeah.
You know, so your packaging, because I've seen your products, but I've never seen ads in big ways, or how do you do it?
So part is luck. So really part of it is luck. It just happened to be at the right time, at the right place, with the right people in the right room. I mean, really, that's so much of being an entrepreneur, having that. So I always thank somebody for that. I think the other thing was, I designed the packaging to work in a mass environment. So if you look at it, it is not what you would see in a Whole Foods. It's bright, it's colorful, it screams at you because it really needs to in that environment. Whereas in a Whole Foods, if it's nourishing with some of the beautiful brands here, it's a different aesthetic. So I worked very hard to prove to them that I could design it so that it would pop off. And it just happens they don't have an organic option, so I was there selling them an organic choice, and they tried the formulas and they loved them and they liked the package. So it was really the combination, and because we are exclusive for now, I've been able to leverage their internal support to be successful. So they're putting all their marketing muscle behind launching it, rather than, I don't have money to spend on advertising and external stuff. So they're doing all the trade promotions and their social media, they're directly on e-commerce and all sorts of stuff to support it.
It's just interesting because I have a lot of friends who don't know the difference. I mean, they're real smart.
Yeah.
They don't know the difference between natural and organic, and they want to know what it is. So somehow.
Yeah. That is the biggest, I think we will all agree, it's the biggest challenge is helping people understand that there is a fundamental difference between a certified organic product and anything else. There's just two different things. And I think over time, with retailers getting behind it and sort of understanding it themselves, and with Whole Foods, the major change was that they kicked out anything that had the word organic on it that wasn't USDA organic brand instead of certified organic. All kicked off the shelves in April of 2012. So retailers are trying. They're trying to sort of help the consumer. So I just think it'll take time.
Rob, I just wanted to sort of elaborate on what Rob was saying. We kind of had this conversation. If you're looking for color, organic color, you won't find it. You can find organic ingredients in color, but if you look for organic color, you'll never